But I ended up, like, so like a few weeks ago, I don't know if anybody reads The Hollywood Reporter. Sometimes I do, because, you know, I have no life.
Masochism.
Yeah, it's masochism. But there was some clickbaity article about, you know, like how, you know, diversity is somehow causing white actors to lose out.
Think of the white people.
Oh, God. It's the ultimate, we'll think of the white people.
Molly's been waiting this whole time to say that.
And so, like, I mean, it was really maybe 1,500 words of like, wah, wah. Like, what are the rules for the, like, you know, blonde people? What are they gonna do now? They can't, like, you know, save people or, you know, stab them or whatever. So, I mean, like, going back to what Tanya said, like, I know for me, like, the first time I realized I wanted to be a journalist was looking at people like, oh gosh, who's the NBC anchor now for, Lester Holt. Like, so seeing people like Lester Holt, seeing women like Carol Simpson, who, okay, fine, she's a bit of a plagiarist now, but I mean, back then, you know, she was, you know, sort of like an award-winning journalist, and seeing those people changed my life and made me want to go out and tell the people's stories, and that's important because, you know, back when we were kids, we didn't, you know, there aren't many people, you know, brown doing journalism, like, especially, you know, like,
Did we just say Robert Roberts?
Yeah,
Okay.
and like, yeah, but...
Okay, we're gonna stop you now, because I'm gonna do this question.
Okay, no.
I was on a message board for 9 years, and I was one of the only chicks on there, of course, and I'm really bad at phrasing myself, and so when I would post an opinion about something, people would take it out of context, or basically gang up on me, and I would have to try to explain my point, and it would end up almost in an argument, and it would just be like me against many of them. So basically, I'm just asking, how long do you argue your own point, trying to get it across to these fellow nerds that are just ganging up on you?
You don't.
You don't read the comments?
You
don't respond?
You do not engage. I kind of got into a thing a couple days ago.
No, Jamie.
I'm not gonna name names. I'm just saying, there's a point, you know, even when you try your best not to get sucked in, you will get sucked in sometimes, but you have to know, like what Molly said, you have to know when to, like, fall back and just leave it alone. Like, you can try to explain it 50 different ways, and people will not try to get your point. They're not trying to, like, engage you in good faith. You have to recognize also when people are not going to engage you in good faith. So knowing that and valuing, like, your mental health, like, just fall the fuck back, have a beer, like, leave it alone, because people are going to believe what they want to believe anyway.
Yeah, because your phrasing is probably fine. Like, no matter what you wrote, they were going to want to have that fight with you. And that's so true. To what you said with the nice purple fangs there. You know, it is. It's like, pick your battles. Know when there's no point in talking to this person anymore. They don't. A lot of times it's like, I just want to have a dialogue. No, you do not want to have a dialogue.
And also, you are under no obligation to educate anyone.
Also, the words devil's advocate, just block them.
Yeah, but I'm thinking of that Clubhouse stuff. If you look at media coverage, just a little analogy, like the way that mainstream media talks about social media, they disembody it. It's always
All typed up, it's cute. There are a couple groups, Women's Media Center is one of them, and there's some other orgs that are working at this point to get the laws changed. As you're seeing the revenge porn dominoes fall, doxing is coming behind it because a lot of those websites aren't technically legal. It's just that nobody bothered, because who's looking at grandma's address for her gas company bill to send her angry things? Like, nobody thought about this, right? The white pages is a holdover from a period when we might actually need to physically look up something and call someone in a book. Nobody thought about the internet. So we're starting to see sort of the dominoes tick, because foolishly, one of the many wonderful things Gamergate and its adherents did was decide to start doxing federal judges. You'll see a lot of changes now.
Well, she was in the, is that the...
Well, I have to get around to the other side. Sister will yell while I run around to the other side.
Yeah, I would just add, police really know how to deal with harassment and threats when it comes to it happening to them. If you look at what happened with the shooting of the 2 officers in Brooklyn, like, they tracked people down like that, they were there arresting. If you go to a precinct to report, they're like, we don't have to know what to do about this. So they know, and I think that it is about advocacy, about getting to know your local politicians and making them aware of those problems.
So I was just going to kind of talk about bullying and trolling in video games. There was an article that we talked about on my show that maybe you guys have heard about, where a kid was trolling this guy while playing the game, and the guy happened to be a sheriff, and he was arguing with the guy, and he called him a nigger, and he did all the sheriff called the kid. He said, I beat niggas up like you all the time, blah, blah, blah. And the sheriff wound up losing his job. The kid who was doing it prefaced, he posted everything online, but he prefaced everything by saying, I don't want to get this guy in trouble. I redacted all of his information because all we were doing was having some fun. We were just trolling him, as if that's a pastime in which they enjoy. So my question to you guys is, how do we as a community stop the kids, because the kids are growing up and they're doing this stuff as if, and pretending as if what they're doing to avatars and not to actual people. So what do you guys think is the best way to handle that and deal with kids?
Parent your kids. Parent the kids in your community. I'm gonna be real honest. My son and I had to have that conversation. Well, my son and my husband and I had that conversation. My son won't be trolling anybody anymore. Okay. Oh, she's running out of time. Questions.
You had one.
Yeah.
Hi, I just had a question. Do you think it's getting better overall? Just because there's a lot more media attention on it, especially with the celebrity hacks last year. Do you think it's getting better or worse because?
I don't think it's getting any better, because just today I saw some tweets about a woman who said she was going to donate $1 to Feminist Frequency every time a Gamergator rolled in her mentions. She has someone claiming to be a sniper trained in the U.S. military planning to kill her over just saying, I'm going to donate $1 to Anita Sarkeesian. So no, it's not getting better, and I doubt it will get better until people get some home training.
Or arrested.
Or that too.
So here's a question. We talk about individual stories and we talk about online communities, but we all know that our online communities start from our real world communities. They start from places like here, or different conferences, or different small group meetings. And I personally believe that the best defense is a great offense. And how do we create, what would be a good way to create a positive, and I don't mean the word incentive, because I don't think you should have to have an incentive to be nice to me, because you should. But how do we create a positive culture that pushes against trolling? Because trolling is the reflection of what they've experienced in real life. How do we create positivity that would essentially say, clearly, this isn't okay?
I think Mickey just actually answered that when she answered Cicero.
Well, also bring back shame, right? You know people who troll. You know people who are verbally abusive or sexist or whatever. A not cool dude, because so much of this game for the teenagers and stuff, it's about being cool. And they keep on being, like, we're never going to erase jerkishness from the world. I'm a dad-little asshole. I would never want all the assholes to go away. I just want assholes to learn boundaries. And unfortunately, I think sometimes you just have to not tolerate it in your community, right? Like, you know that there's somebody you're inviting to an event, or someone who comes to events, we're back to the missing stair, who is often a jerk. Other people don't like them. If you stop inviting them to stuff, and when they ask you why, you say because you say really sexist things, or you say make racist jokes, or you make rape jokes, or whatever. Wait, there's a cost to being a jerk? Hold on, this isn't as fun. We got like the 1 minute warning, so I'm gonna head back up to the panel. Is there anybody whose question that I missed who can do it in like 30 seconds? All right, so running. I remember to turn the mic off. So our time is up. Thank you for coming to Yes All Trolls. I hope you learned a bunch. I'm going to put the presentation online so you can see the things that you missed, the resources and stuff. In terms of resources, you can use an auto blocker on Twitter, GG auto blocker, will keep Gamergate out of your mentions, Blockbot, Block Together, pick one, pick a dozen, I use 3. On other platforms, always check your settings. You can often prevent people from talking to you who you do not know. And erase your data from Spokia. Erase your data from Spokia. Thanks.